Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Bhakta Vrinda Vande Guru Nisha Bhakta Nisha Nisha Avatarakan Tat Prakasham Tat Shakti Krishna Chaitanya Sangyakam Grantera Arambhakori Mangala Charana Guru Vaishnava Bhagavan Tinira Smarana Haya Vigana Vinashana Anayasa Sapal Nija Vanchita Purana Jaya Jaya Kripa Moy Jagatera Nath Sarva Jagatera Kuru Shubha Drishtipad Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschata Deshatarine Shri Krishna Caitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Om Tat Sat. So we are reading Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta by Śrīla Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, reading the internal mood of the Lord, why the Lord appears, and we're talking about three desires, three unfulfilled desires. And what are those? The first one explained from 119 to 237 about the Sri Radha Pranaya Mahima. The next one was the Madhuri. The sweetness of the Lord, which the Lord cannot also experience fully. So therefore he comes as a devotee to experience his own sweetness. And now we'll come to the desire number 3. We read 160 yesterday. And this is Sakhyam Chastya Mat Anubhavata. To taste the happiness what Radharani is experiencing. To taste Radha's happiness. So the conclusion of Rasa is extremely deep. Only Swarup Damodar knows much about it. 161. Yeba keha anya jane se ho tanha hoi te Chaitanya Gosaira tenha atyanta narmayate. Translation by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Anyone else who claims to know it must have heard it from him, for he was the most intimate companion of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Hare Kṛṣṇa. So this talks about the conclusion of Rasa. Only Swarup Damodar knows it, who is basically Lalita Sakhi, the heart of Radharani. And this was also very nice that if we also want to know, we must follow in the footsteps of those Mahajans, those most intimate companions of the Lord. And our Guru Varga is nothing but the Manjaris, the intimate companions of the Lord. All the Guru Varga, whether the Rupa Goswami, Rupa Manjari, Kamala Manjari, Nayana Manjari, all these Shad Goswami, Shra Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, they're also very internal associates. They're not ordinary people. So if we also want to understand and to relish the topmost rasa, we must also absorb in hearing from these Guru Parampara, which we are doing. Reading Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta is basically not different from hearing. So that's in this verse. We'll go on to the next one. Yes, Vipul Prabhu, want to read?
Hare Krishna devotees, Dhanavad Pranam, all goes to Srila Prabhupada. Text 162. Gopi gane preme rura bhavo naam vishuddha nirmal prem kobu nahe kam. Translation purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. The love of the gopis is called Rudho Bhav. It is pure and spotless. It is not at any time lust. As already explained, the position of the gopis in their loving dealings with Krishna is transcendental. Their emotion is called Rudha Bhav. Although it is apparently like mundane sex, one should not confuse it with mundane sexual love, for it is pure and unadulterated love of Godhead. So, what is love in spiritual world? This is the lust in this material world. So, people like me who does not have any spiritual knowledge, definitely it may look like common people, common boys and girls interaction, but devotees who knows and realize Krishna, they know this is the purest love, and that love we actually carry everybody, but it is contaminated by the Kali Yuga and our own selfish desire. But it can be it can be brought it we can brought it out by good association and by chanting and other spiritual activities. Back to Prabhuji.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Very nicely you shared some comments on this. So we'll move on to the next. Yes, Dev Prabhu, want to read?
Sure, Prabhu. Hare Kṛṣṇa devotees, Nityaṁ, of Śrī Caitanya, text number 163. Premaiva gopa rama ramanam kama iti agama ratam iti uddha vadyo apetam vana chinta bhāgavata-sevayā. Translation and purport based when Vesi Bhaktivedanta from Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The pure love of gopis have become celebrated by name lust. The dear devotees of the Lord, headed by Sri Uddhava, desire to taste that love. This is a verse from Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1 to 285. So, Hare Kṛṣṇa. So the mundane people here thinks that the gopis love is lust, but as we read in the previous one, Prabhu explained. So this is the topmost transcendental love. It's not like how, and here the dear devotees of the Lord, headed by Sri Uddhava, desire to taste that transcendental love. So, and also like to wish you a happy Krishna conscious anniversary, Prabhuji. You both are very, inspiring us. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu, for your kind prayers and blessings. Thank you. So the pure love and the mundane lust is distinguished here. In the material world, sorry to say, but the topmost searched word on the internet is sex. Vipul Prabhu shared a video by Gauranga Prabhu that pornography has become such an addiction in the young youth of India, which is like the capital of spiritual life, right? So many these websites, videos and whatnot, everyone has these smartphone and access to internet, and so very, very easily available, and people are addicted to all those things: illicit affairs, premarital affairs, outside marriage affairs, and teenage pregnancies, live-in relationship. All is an outcome of lust, material, mundane lust, which kind of culminates in illicit sex, and so many other wrong things happen. The society gets polluted, people's mind, intelligence, everything gets polluted. So, and then what happens? We see world through the lens of our consciousness. We are made up of what activities we do. Recently, I heard a nice class. He made a very nice comment there, one devotee. If all our activities are in the mode of ignorance, then I would see everything from the lens of ignorance. If all one's activities are in the mode of goodness, then one's body, one's speech, one's character, one's way of sitting, talking, behaving, everything will get transformed. Right? I'm sure we all agree to that. It's a matter of choices we are making are affecting our whole physical nature, psychological nature, emotional nature, our dealings, our relationships, everything is getting affected. And nowadays, everyone is so entrapped with this lust and pornography and illicit activities. Then they see the activities of God also in that lens. And then they make nonsense videos that, hey, God also did that. What's wrong? If I have few girlfriends, he had 16,000 wives, what's wrong? He also stole the clothes of gopis, what's wrong? If I also do the same things, that's nonsense, right? So let's see. If these were mundane, ordinary activities like the great Goswamis, Shukdev Goswamis, all the acharyas of great, renunciates like Narada, Shukdev, Vyasa, etc., would not have been glorifying them. Right? Bhakti Samrat Sindhu Shri Rupa Goswami would not have been glorifying them. Right? Like mundane people glorify this Hollywood actor, actress, Bollywood actor, actress, and their so-called romance and all that. But this is not what the Goswamis are glorifying. They're glorifying the pure activities of Radha Krishna, which are much beyond our comprehension. So therefore, first we have to kind of make ourselves in goodness and pure goodness. Otherwise, if we are situated in ignorance and passion, then these activities will appear to be just in ignorance and passion. It's not a problem with the activity, it's a problem with our consciousness, which is leading to see us things in that perspective. Shukdev Goswami, all these, they are in pure goodness. So they are seeing that in the pure goodness, which they truly are. So let's read the next one. Yes, Prabir Prabhu, just read this.
Oh, sorry, someone can read. I'm sorry.
No problem, Prabhuji. Aswati Mataji maybe can read.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Dandavat Pranam everyone. Text 164. Kamo premo dohakar bibhinno lokhon, loho ar hemo joiche swarupe bilokhon. Can you read please? Translation by His Divine Grace, Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Prabhupada ki jai. Lust and love have different characteristics, just as iron and gold have different natures. Purport. One should try to discriminate between sexual love and pure love, for they belong to different categories with a gulf of difference between them. They are as different from one another as iron is from gold. As Prabhuji was already explained that what's the difference between lust and love, and here Prabhupada is also in the purport, he's explaining that love without bodily pleasure is called pure love, and Gopi's love was that pure for Lord Krishna, and in this material world people cannot understand it's so deep. So that's why they made bad comments and a bad interpretation of Gopi's love. Back to you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. So here the difference between lust and love is shared, and or this is one of the many verses which we'll talk more about this difference. But yeah, sometimes externally they may kind of, iron is also metal, gold is also a metal, right? But does iron and gold are the same? Absolutely not. One is very, very pure. The pure love, which we will study. What does that pure love mean, and what is pure? What does lust mean? Lust. So let's see what is that difference in love and lust in this wonderful verse. It's a memory verse, very important verse, very, very often quoted verse from Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta, this verse which talks about the difference between love and lust. So maybe Vijay Mataji can read this one, please.
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Atmendriya priti vancha tare bali kama Krishnadriya priti icha dhare prema nama. Translation: the desire of gratify one's own sense is kama, lust, but the desire to please the sense of Lord Krishna is prema, love. Purport: the rival scripture describes pure love as follow: sarvatha dhavamsa rahitam satya api dhavamsa karne yadabhava bandhanam yunoha sa prema parikritiha. Is ample reason for the dissolution of conjugal relationship, and yet such a dissolution does not take place. Such a relationship of intimate love is called pure. The predominant gopis were bound to Krishna in such pure love. For them, there was no question of sexual love based on sense gratification. Their only engagement in life was the see Krishna happy in all respects, regardless of their own personal interest. They dedicated their soul only for the satisfaction of the personality of Godhead. Sri Krishna, there was not slightest things of sexual love between the gopi and Krishna. The author is Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta asserted with authority that sexual love is a matter of personal sense enjoyment. All the regulative principle in the Vedas pertaining the desire for popularity, fatherhood, wealth, and so on are different phases of sense gratification. Acts of sense gratification may be performed under the cover of public welfare. Nationalism, religion, altruism, ethical codes, biblical codes, health, directive, fruitive action, bashfulness, tolerance, personal comfort, liberation from material bondage, progress, family affection, or fear of social ostracism or legal punishment. But all these categories are different subdivision of one's substance, sense gratification. All such good acts are performed basically for one's own sense gratification. For no one can sacrifice his personal interest while discharging this much advertised moral and religion. A transcendental stage in which one feels himself to be only an internal survivor. All acts performed in this sense of servitude are called pure love of God because they are performed for the absolute sense gratification of Sri Krishna. However, any act performed for the purpose of enjoying in its fruits or results is an act of sense gratification. Such actions are visible sometimes in gross and sometimes in subtle forms. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, back to you.
Hare Krishna. So, very, very important verse. Atmendra priti vanchatare valikam, Krishnera priti ichha dhare premanam. If the focus is one's own pleasure, desires, and Prabhupada gives such, nice definition. Sometimes it may not be just the desire of opposite sex. It could be in disguise of all these, maybe performed under the cover, like as disguise under the cover. Oh, I'm doing it for public welfare. Oh, I'm doing it for my religion. I'm doing it from social welfare. I'm doing it for some health reason, some fruitive action, or for my own family, or for, blah, 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 blah. But what is Prabhupada saying? All these categories are different divisions of one substance, sense gratification. Pretty strong here, right? If the focus is not Krishna and to please Krishna and the Guru Parampara, then sometimes we may cover this. Like recently I'll share one example about a devotee. He got a nice jhula, like a swing at his home. Must be expensive. And then his guru came and his guru kind of felt that this is not really, like it's like a sense gratification. And typical sometimes ISKCON lingo. Guru Maharaj, I actually got this for you. And the Guru Maharaj came this after 1 or 2 years, and he had been using it for quite some time. So the Guru said, okay, what happens to this when I'm not here? I come here like once in 2 years, and that too for a day or two. So he got his lesson. He got his lesson that sometimes we may know philosophy, we may know, and we may cover. Best Prabhupada is so beautifully writing here. We may cover under different garbs. Oh, it's for my personal comfort. Oh, everything belongs to Krishna. Oh, everything is Krishna. Or sometimes it is our own thing, but we may try to cover it. So we have to see, is the focus really, because ultimately we can speak to others what we want to speak to others, but we cannot trick Krishna. We cannot trick Guru Sadhu Shastra. If the real intent is to gratify one's own senses, it is referred in as per this verse as kama or lust. If the real intent is to please Krishna's senses, Krishnera priti ichha dhare preman, that's love. The only engagement in life was the gopis was to see Krishna happy in all respects. Not what is best for my pleasure, what is best for the pleasure of my devotee, or my beloved. A mother does not see what is best interest for me. The mother will see what is in the best interest of the child, right? She'll stay hungry, but she'll feed the child. She'll have a sleepless night, but she'll make sure the child sleeps well, right? That is some tinge of close, real love. Of course, that's only very infinitesimal portion of true love. That's not really true love. And after that, mother may also get so many expectations. My child should become this, he should become a millionaire, he should serve me in the future, he should give me, get this for me, he should get that for me. So, but some, Prabhupada has shared this, some resemblances there. The gopis example, the famous story, Krishna having a headache, right? No one wanted to give the dust of their feet. Because why? The interest was, well, I will go to hell if I do that. And the gopis said, well, to hell with going us to hell. Right? If we have to go to hell or heaven, if it gives a tiny drop of pleasure to our beloved, we are willing to go to the lowest of the narkas to give pleasure to our beloved. Like how mother sacrifices. Willing to sacrifice. Love means to sacrifice. Love means to serve. Love means selflessness. Love means service. Love means to put others' interest first and our interest secondary. That's real love. To put Krishna's interest first. To put Guru's interest first. Because this property, this body, this property, this everything belongs to Guru and Krishna. I'm just a nimitta. If I'm a nimitta, then I should put the master's interest first. I'm just an employee. I should not put my interest first. I should put the interest of my master first. I'm just a puppet. I'm just a servant. Whatever is good for the master, for the beloved, that should be good for me. That's best for me. Whatever Krishna arranges is best for me. Ashlisya vapadratam pinishtam darshanam karotu vitha tatha vavidhatu lampato mat prananathastu sevanapara. Whether you embrace me, whether you kick me out, I will remain your servant birth after birth. It's not that, I'm not getting mercy of Krishna or Guru, then I'll just leave this, right? Then what is the interest? My interest is for, because my desires are not getting fulfilled. So every time we can ask this question, what am I looking for in this situation? What is best for me? Or am I looking in this situation what's best for Krishna? What's best for the Prabhupada? What's best for Prabhupada's mission? What's best for pleasing Vaishnavas? One time there was an argument or something. Two devotees had some difficulty, something's there. And then their Guru Maharaj said, do you want to be right or do you want to be Krishna conscious? Sometimes, there's no point, like sometimes, okay, that's fine. Like, who is right, who is wrong? Sometimes it's too complex to understand. That's fine. Let's forgive and forget and be Krishna conscious. That's a higher priority. What will we win to say that to prove that I am right? Maybe a small argument. Okay, forget it. Let's forgive, forget, move on. So, lust and love, very, very clear, very, very nice definition here. And a lot of examples are also there. But these are important words Prabhupada has used. Prabhupada is not just using like 2-3 words. Prabhupada has given so many words, which sometimes we may cover our under the garb of all these words, we may cover our lust. Right? Okay. I got this for Krishna. I use it one day for Krishna and 364 days for myself. Right? So I got this for Guru. Guru comes once a year, uses for one day, 364 days I use. So you have to really see whom are we trying to trick. I'm just speaking for myself. So if it is for myself, then openly say, okay, I need it for. I'm not renounced. I am not that level. I'm not at that level. I have a lot of desires. Krishna will be happy to hear that, that I need it, I have desires, but yes, I will, use 1% of that time for Krishna also. Krishna will like that, rather than saying that I got it for Krishna and I'll use 1% still, 99% I will use for myself, but still I'm saying I got it for Krishna. That's little bit hypocrisy. Not little bit, it's certainly hypocrisy. If I say, okay, I got it for myself, I'm not fully renounced, so I need this, whatever that thing or gadget or thing or whatever that may be, but I also have desire to develop bhakti. So I will use it 1% for Krishna also, or 2% for Krishna also, and for devotees also. Rest 98%, 90% I'll use for myself. That's fine. And I'll pray, you bless me, you pray for me, Krishna, please bless me so I can reduce my percentage and increase Krishna's percentage. Right? So that's all we are trying. That's all we are trying for. Because Gopi's pure love is very, very high. That's a very high platform. So, and that's the whole goal, to get from lust to love. That's the whole goal. Right now, Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, these 6 enemies are bothering us all the time. Myself, sorry, not all of you wonderful souls. But we have to keep trying, keep struggling, keep remembering these high example of the gopis, and then we can also overcome the darkness. Any other comments, thoughts anyone has?
So, Prabhuji, in the purport, the first para, if there is ample reason for the dissolution of the conjugal relationship and yet such a dissolution does not take place, such a relationship of intimate love is called pure. Not clear, Prabhuji. Can you explain a little bit more?
Dissolution. Let's see what the exact meaning is. Closing, basically, like, okay, dissipation, dismissal. Okay. If there is ample reason for dissolution, or basically break, and yet such a break does not happen. Yeah. Basically, in material world, what happens? If one partner does not fulfill the desires of the other partner, okay, gone. Right? Love at first sight, divorce at first fight. Relationship is dissoluted because the platform was lust. You fulfill my desires, I'll fulfill your desires. Still, we both can mutually fulfill each other's desires. The relationship will continue until the point we get some reasons for the relationship to dissolute or not continue further. We have enough reasons, we don't go well together, so many reasons these days. So much divorce is happening, so much couples fighting. Fighting is fine, whenever 2 utensils are there, they will make sound, that's fine. But if it gets to a point where people are leaving, and in broken marriages, divorces, and single parenting, all that puts a lot of pressure on everyone. The children, the parents, everyone suffers actually. There's no good outcome. But if there is pure love, even sometimes Radharani angry with Krishna, sometimes Krishna angry with Radharani, all these man Lilas. But their relationship is beyond all these things. This is my limited understanding. Maybe all of you can also add. But their love is not based on any of these or those false things, or sense gratification, or what is in it for me, right? But what is in it for Krishna? That's the whole focus. If Krishna says, so Krishna sometimes in the middle of the Raslila, he will just disappear. Ample reason to, but that's not that the gopis' love would diminish for the Supreme Lord, or it's not that they will show anger sometimes. Yes, they will show anger, but that anger is also an expression of love. So there's never a point that Krishna, we're not going to, we are done, no more seeing each other's face, and you go your way, I go my way, never to meet again. That's resolution. So this is my relative understanding. And part of it can be seen within the mother and the child. Sometimes the child will get angry on the mother will get angry on the child, the mother will scold the child, the mother will beat the child, the mother may laugh with the child. Even if the child passes urine on the mother or stool on the mother, ample reason, right? If someone passes urine or stool on us, will we like to be with that person? Probably you'll break the relationship, right? You go your way, I go. I just don't show your face to me. You're passing urine and stool on me. But the mother does that, right? Ample reason for that. The child is crying. The mother has to get up in the middle of the night. She's already tired, feed the baby, a lot of reasons. But there is pure love. So this is pure. When there is pure or selflessness, there is, because the whole intention is to serve. Love means to serve. Putting oneself second and the beloved first. So whatever the beloved does is good, whether I may like it or not like it. Does that make sense? Or
Yes, Prabhuji. The Raslila things really make sense. Thank you.
We go 166. We can read this one as well. Anyone would like to read, please?
Sure, Prabhuji. Hardus devotees, Dhan Pranam, all goes to Śrī Prabhupada. Text 166. কামেরও তাৎপর্য নিজ সম্ভব কেবল কৃষ্ণ সুখ তাৎপর্য মাত্র প্রেম তব প্রবল. Translation by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. The object of lust is only the enjoyment of one's own senses, but the love caters to the enjoyment of Lord Krishna. Thus, it is very powerful. So, this is the continuation of the second verse, what it meant. That our own senses, if we want to satisfy our own senses, this is lust. Actually, anything we do where Krishna is not the Vishoy, that is lust. But if Krishna is the Vishoy and then we surround around Krishna, then it is a same thing becomes love. Back to Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. Very nicely summarized. The famous example we gave in the life of a devotee and in the life of a materialist. Materialist also has job, family, car, has to pay the bills, mortgage, interest, Wi-Fi, wife, kids, whatnot, grocery, everything. So buying clothes, buying basic things. And a devotee has also to do all these things. Pay the bills, go to work, get grocery. But what is the focus? All these parts, all these like finance, family, health, education, children, family, etc. All these are like tires of a car. Like the car has different tires. But the center focus is Krishna consciousness for a devotee. But for a materialist, the center focus is one's own senses. What should I do so I can get more sense enjoyment? With my job, enjoyment senses. With my finances, enjoyment senses. With my kids, enjoyment, extended senses. Not giving Krishna consciousness to kids is basically telling that the priority for me is something else. So therefore, the priority for my kids, because kids follow parents, very simple, kids will just do. If the parents say to the kids, especially young kids like who are less than 10, 12-year-old, who don't have like their own choice, that, hey, don't go to temple, don't chant, don't waste your time in all these mala wala, just focus on study, just focus on getting good grades. If you get good grades, you'll get good income in the future. You'll become a good this, good lawyer, good engineer, good doctor, good. Forget about bhakti, you can always, this is again. And the kids may innocently do that. They don't know what's right, what's wrong. They'll just, but again, that's showing that I want to enjoy through my kids or through my extended senses. Same with wife, same with husband. And so, yes, same with buying anything. What's the focus? Is the focus Krishna? Is the focus Krishna consciousness? Or is the focus self-consciousness, self-satisfaction, sense enjoyment? What is the focus? So these two words are quite similar in their context. Any other thoughts, comments anyone has? Okay, these two verses, we'll read the three verses are together. We'll read this as the last for today. Anyone wants to read? Hasn't got chance yet? Anyone? Munna, Mataji, want to read?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, sure. I kind of forgot what I used to say before because this is the first class that I'm taking after my delivery of my baby. Loka dharma, Veda dharma, Deha dharma, Karma, Raja, Dhairya, Deha sukha, Atma sukha, Marma, Duste yaja, Arya patha, Nija parijana, Swajana, Karaye, Yata tadana, Bhatsana, Sarva tyaga kari, Kare Krishnera bhajana, Krishna sukha hetu kare prema sevana. I think we need to scroll a little bit. Translation: social customs, scriptural injunction, bodily demands, creative action, shyness, patience, bodily pleasure, self-gratification, and the path of varnashrama dharma, as well as their own relatives, and dharma, which is difficult to give up. The gopis have forsaken all these, as well as their own relatives and their punishments and scoldings, for the sake of serving Lord Krishna. They render loving service to him for the sake of his enjoyment. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, back to you.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, thank you so much. You've been missing your association. Thank you. And congratulations.
Thank you so much. I was missing these classes too, because I started feeling like I went back to the same Muna, which I have which I was like before. I started working on myself when I started joining this class. And there are a lot of knowledge that I learned throughout this class, but after disconnecting for a certain period of time, I felt like I really need to go back to this class to to remind myself I need to work on myself rather than, you know, complaining and being sad about this stuff going around. So yeah. And yesterday I completed my exam. I gave my final exam of my school. So yeah, it was a good opportunity for me to come back again today, to resume today.
That's excellent. And all the best for your results as well. I'm sure you'll do excellent. So, and congratulations for your baby on behalf of all the devotees here. So we're very, very grateful for your association, and we're glad that you're able to come back and feel nourished.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
So a lot of dharmas are mentioned here. Loka dharma, Veda dharma, Deha dharma, Karma, Lajja dharya, Deha sukha, Atma sukha, Marma. Loka dharma, social customs, right? A lot of social customs are there. Veda dharma, Vedic injunctions are sometimes like this. Deha dharma, the bodily dharma. Karma, Lajja, or the bashfulness, dharya, patience, deha sukha. The gopis, when Krishna called out, they didn't consider for all of these so-called dharma. Because what is the essence of all dharma? Sar dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja. The dharma which binds us for not serving Krishna becomes adharma. When the Brahman Patnis, gopis, all of these showed that the real dharma is to please Krishna. Dushtyaja aryapatha, which are difficult to give up. The path of varna, ashrama, etc. Like even Vibhishana, technically, the younger brother is supposed to support the elder brother. That's the general dharma. But when the elder brother Ravana is on the side of adharma against Rama, then Vibhishana said that give up that so-called dharma, which takes us away from Krishna or Rama. That is not real dharma. So many examples are there of so many devotees who gave up the so-called dharma. Sometimes relatives also. Sarvatyagi kare Krishna bhajan. Swajana, right? Sometimes one is so attached to one's swajan. It could be one's friends, relatives, etc. But if that becomes an obstacle in Krishna consciousness, one should not be so attached. Isn't it? Okay, yes, we have to be their well-wisher. We have to be there. We have to try our best to help them also in Krishna consciousness. But if that becomes a hindrance in one's bhakti, then certainly the real dharma is to please Krishna. So the gopis did all that. They forsake their husbands, right? Their husbands were busy doing yajna, busy doing so many things. Gopis, some of them, their husbands said, you can't go. They gave up their body over there, right there. Deha dharma, they gave up their body. Deha dharma is not give up one's body. She gave up that body, and the transcendental body, she was with Krishna. Everything, as well as their own relatives, their punishment and scolding. So some of the relatives were scolding, if you go, we will never accept you back. Now for a wife, husband telling this to a wife that if you go there, I'll never accept you back. Still they went. That needs a lot of courage. Lajja, they gave up their shyness. Ultimately for Krishna. For Krishna. Very, very hard for a Strī to give up shyness is the ornament of a lady. It's one of the 7 ornaments of a lady: chastity, shyness. But ultimately, sarvadharman paritya. Therefore, the gopis' example is so hard. Sarvadharman paritya mamekam shranam. Giving up everything to please Krishna. What Krishna wants. And if Krishna said, okay, you go back, they said that our husbands and all, they would not accept us. They told us to never return back. Now you are telling us to go back. But Krishna, being the Supreme Lord, being the Supreme Controller in everyone's heart, arranged everything. So these are very high pastimes, but we have to at least kind of take some tiny bits of lessons so we can at least appreciate what they have done and take infinitesimal portion of their qualities, their mood, their surrender, their love, then our life would also be perfect. Any other comments, thoughts, additions, questions anyone has before we wrap up? Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta ki jai, Śrī Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami ki jai, Śrī Prabhupada ki jai, Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripasindubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha. Thank you. Hari Bol.
Hare
Thank you.
Krishna,
Thank
Prabhuji.
you,
Hare
happy
Krishna,
anniversary to
everyone.
Zairi.
Thank you. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you for your blessings. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.